Doctor Who's greatest episode in years proves it is broken beyond repair. The mainstream MSN media is saying so. Up Rachel Zegler. I am Mecca. I have survived surgery. And Doctor Who, I gotta talk about that because why? This is keeping me sane or not. It might be keeping me not sane.
Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
Doctor Who episode from 1969 is slapped together with trigger warnings amid complaints from readers that the show has gone woke. So now they're slapping trigger warnings on the original episodes. Really? You really gotta do that? Maybe it's time to keep Doctor Who as this thing that we used to watch in the past, and make a new show. Make a new show. Can you not do that? No, you can't do that. You gotta go and just exploit and market to and create controversy and pander.
Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
The only people who left watching Doctor Who are kind of the theater kids anyway at this point, so that's why it's getting so much praise because of the musical I'm Mr. Ring-a-Dang.
I am the last thing you see before you fall into the abyss.
Alan Cumming and his full-on Broadway voice. It was actually not too bad of an episode if you like the musical theater side of Doctor Who. I can get into it myself sometimes.
You crossed the line. Get that through your head.
But seriously, who's watching it anymore? We have been told we are ists and phobes anytime we complain about anything.
Planet of the incels.
Every time the show takes a stab at the audience, this episode they took a stab at the viewing audience. R.I.P. Doctor Who.
Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
A bunch of losers in mobility scooters, according to the show producers. That we're all friendless.
Planet of the incels.
Whiny crybaby. That's what they see us as. And that was the good episode. Why? Because at least it was an entertaining bad guy and an entertaining concept.
That is America's ass.
Too bad it had so much to do with, what about we're not supposed to be here because we're the wrong ethnic diverse.
Guys, look at the moon.
That takes people out of it because we just don't care about hearing about it every goddamn day for the rest of our life. Every day we keep hearing about it. So, of course, the ratings are in the toilet. It is broken beyond repair according to the mainstream media. Who's this? I'm a massive Doctor Who fan, so it brings me no pleasure to write what I'm about to write. Since 2005. Only since 2005. Try 1981. When I can remember, probably the 70s before I can remember. We were watching it on PBS. You've only been around watching it since 2005. You don't get to claim yourself to be any massive fan of anything, even though you probably know more trivia than I've forgotten. Because why? I put new things in my brain, like hockey, because that's...
It's amazing.
They haven't called me any names yet, I don't think. Not to my face, anyway. So, you've been a Doctor Who fan for a whole decade. And you've traveled with the titular Time Lord to alien worlds and the distant past, meeting incredible people, and
You've taken coercive control and made it complete control of the whole planet.
watched it and wondered. Tell me in the comments section how much longer you've been a Doctor Who fan than the writer of this. Who wrote this article? Tom Percival wrote this article 2 days ago. It's a 5-minute read. We're not going to make it through this whole article, are we? We are not. So sadly, it's a heavy heart, and I've only got the one that I'll admit. I think the show is broken, and sadly, I can't even see how regeneration can fix what's wrong. Just look at the abysmal ratings of Doctor Who's latest episode, Lux. Yeah, 1.58 million viewers. I was doing Rip Doctor Who, Doctor Who's Dead at 4 million viewers. Okay, this is when I had hair before I lost all the chemo and cancer and stuff. I'm a better fighter than anybody on any of these TV shows we've watched. I've already done a video on that. Please subscribe to this channel and donate to my GoFundMe if you want to help support an actual super, heroic person. That's me right here. I have pulled myself up from my bootstraps numerous times. Doctor Who, yeah, 1.5 million. tuned in as they battled Mr. Ring-a-Ding, Alan Cumming, on Saturday night, despite the episode receiving rave reviews from critics. Now, it's worth saying that those viewing figures don't paint the full picture, as they don't include those watching on iPlayer. You'll get a few more, on streaming, so probably 2 million might be a good high estimate. However, that's not enough to justify a show. People get more views complaining about Doctor Who than Doctor Who gets. Okay? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You need to do better. Here's our season 2 trailer. Stop telling the audience that we're all a bunch of Planet of the Incels.
Planet of the Incels.
And that we wouldn't have any friends if we weren't complaining about R.I.P. Doctor Who. That's a bit condescending.
Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
And insulting. And really insulting. Still, it's clear we're light years away from the show's heyday, where it attracted millions of viewers every Sunday. So if an episode hailed by some as the best in years, for the record, I thought it was tremendous. Can't get bums on seats, we have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with the BBC's former golden child? Wokier than thou identity politics, calling us all a bunch of Vistaphobes, just saying that we're all a bunch of quote-unquote nerds in mobility scooters. Okay, that might be part of it.
Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
Were I the diagnosing physician, I'd say there were two main issues. Firstly, let's address the Judon in the room. The show isn't as good as it was. No crap. No crappity crap, it is not as good as it was. Yes, I just know that Lux is one of the best episodes in years, but this emphasis should be on the latter part of the phrase, in years. Yeah, it was one of the first watchable episodes in years. The rest of them have been so boring, I could not even finish the Jodie Whittaker run. They were just boring, preachy, that haze that made them so dark and dingy. They looked dingy. They looked like you were walking into Granny's dingy, dirty, allergen-filled room that she had been smoking in for about 50 years, and it smelled of nicotine and dust and cat litter, and you know it. Bingo! And that's all of the whole Jodie Whittaker run. And now this new one just feels like you're in your gay theater besties, closet. That's what it feels like. You're just going through playing dress up in your gay theater besties closet, and that's not the entire viewing audience that Doctor Who should be. Okay, we should have some more general viewing audiences for this, unless we've just outgrown it. Is this the best we could do? Is this all we could tell story-wise with this character? If that's the case, maybe we need to retire the character and move on to a new character. Write something else. Ever since Peter Capaldi's Doctor propped his clogs, the show has struggled with weak stories and poor payoffs. Clara talking down to the Doctor. We had the woke storylines then. We had the gender-swapped master, and we know it. We had some very much woke messages, whether we realized it or not. And if you go back and watch that Peter Capaldi run, you're gonna see it. You might even see it in some of the Matt Smiths. I'm just saying. This guy, I lay a lot of the blame on the general apathy toward, I can't pronounce his name, his run at the feet of whoever's making the Space Babies. The first episode, a good idea. It was a rubbish story with gross, forgettable baddie and ropey CGI. Yeah, pretty much everything they've done. Everything they've done has been bad with this. I don't think they could have fixed it. I think that they destroyed it with Jodie Whittaker. That was just the last straw with any of us. They needed to make the first female Doctor, and I said this on my Julie Garner female Silver Surfer rant. You need to make that first woman the best woman we ever got. What did they do? They turned around and replaced her with sassy black lady Doctor. Also, mid-run, like 3 episodes in, she wasn't even the first Doctor. The first woman Doctor, I mean. Here he continues, in an era when first impressions matter, I can't believe it was allowed to run. So he thinks the first episode was bad. Yeah, the first episode with the new Doctor was bad. Regeneration wasn't even that great. They had to bring back David Tennant even just to give us a reason to watch this dude. Most of us probably wouldn't even have tuned in and given him a shot. I hate to say it, most of us would not have tuned in if David Tennant hadn't have been that bi-generation, whatever they decided to go with, to have an excuse to have them both at the same time and not have a replacement. Jodie Whittaker did nothing for women, being the first woman doctor. Here we go. So if it's not for new viewers, who is it for? I don't know many people who are excited to see Rylan, as charming as he is, turn up in an episode. But I know if I told people the Daleks are coming back, they'd at least know what I was talking about. Yeah, who's Rylan? I've been watching this for a while, and a lot of these new people, in and out, in one ear out the other. It all feels a bit scattershot and lacks the confidence other seasons had. Unfortunately, it's the second reason, though that may prove terminal for the Good Doctor. You see, we live in an attention-based economy these days. People are fighting for eyeballs and attention, and the BBC hasn't done a great job of generating buzz around the new season. Yeah, because it turns out if you keep calling us istophobes and you say, hey, this is why we're not watching your show anymore, you keep doing it, we don't come back. We just don't come. Well, some of us do if we have a YouTube channel where we could talk about it.
Or your show.
Streaming. Ooh, he goes into another good point. I agree with you. Streaming. Why would you sit down to watch it on Saturday evening when you can see it whenever? There's no urgency. They can't even make controversy. They can't even call us all a bunch of istophobes and get us to talk about it. We're now just laughing at the ratings. We're barely even reviewing the thing. I will be reviewing the thing as best as I can. Like I said, I just had surgery 2 days ago. I am in better shape than Doctor Who. The worst rated episodes. Yes, every episode is the worst rated episode. From 5 million viewers down. Now we're down to 1.58 million viewers. Should they just retire Doctor Who at this point? Are these ads for other articles more interesting? I'm getting distracted by the other ads. Doctor Who, do better. Rich, everything on Disney Plus isn't doing very well. The best watched ones is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The Acolyte was second. Agatha All Along. I watched Agatha All Along. Oh boy, oh boy. If you want a theater kid show for gay people in theater, that's a show for you. That's who's watching Doctor Who too. And weird. Rachel Zegler, you interrupted. I have no idea what I was saying now. So,
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
I am Mecca. Do you think putting another chick in it and making her lame and or gay would actually help this? Do we need a Lizzo? Will that make Doctor Who worth watching? Probably not. I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Please contribute to the GoFundMe if you are in a position to do so. Subscribe to this channel if you want more insane hot takes. And
Put a chick in it and make her name it gay!